Right now, you trust a food label. It promises probably not poison. Now remove the label, remove the shop, doctor, and phone. Keep the hunger. Add a forest full of choices. One berry feeds you. Its twin may ruin your week. Which was poison? The answer is not blind courage. It is far cleverer than that. Your first guide is already inside you. It sits on your tongue. Sweetness can signal useful energy. Salt can reveal needed minerals. Umami points toward protein, and bitterness raises a tiny alarm. But your tongue is not a chemist. Some safe foods taste bitter. Some poisons barely announce themselves. Nature did not invent warning labels. It invented confusion with leaves. So your ancestors use another tool. They watch. Not for 5 minutes, for seasons, childhoods, and lifetimes. A plant appears after spring rain. A certain fruit ripens in summer. A root is dug before flowering. Another becomes dangerous when old. That is not random gathering. That is a living calendar. At Gesher Ben Yaakov in Israel, archaeologists found a huge plant menu. It dates back 780,000 years. It includes nuts, fruits, and seeds, also roots and water plants. Researchers identified 55 plant types. That variety demands deep local memory, not eat whatever looks cheerful. It means knowing place and season. But memory must survive its owner, so knowledge moves between people. Children watch skilled adults gather. They copy hands, routes, and timing. They learn which parts are eaten and which parts stay firmly ignored. Modern hunter-gatherer studies show this. Children learn from parents and others. Skills travel through the whole camp. Your safest meal is shared knowledge, not one genius licking mystery mushrooms, although every family has that cousin. Would you trust his berry basket? Tell me in the comments. Now comes the dangerous problem. Some valuable foods start out toxic. Your ancestors do not simply surrender. They change the food. They peel it. They pound it. They soak, roast, grind, or cook it. Heat breaks down some harmful compounds. Water can carry others away. Grinding makes tough plants usable. This is not merely cooking. It is ancient chemistry. At Majid Bebe in northern Australia, charred plant remains tell this story. They date back 65,000 to 53,000 years ago. People processed several plant foods. Some needed real work before eating. That means recipes carried survival. Miss one step and dinner fights back. But it gets stranger. Food knowledge can hide in teeth. At Shanidar Cave in Iraq, Neanderthal dental calculus held plants. Other traces came from Spy, Belgium. Some starch grains showed cooking damage. These meals vanished long ago. Their crumbs did not. Not poetry carved into stone. Breakfast trapped inside old plaque. By around 23,000 years ago, people at Ohalo II used grinding stones. They processed wild cereal grains long before farms filled the horizon. That is not desperate scavenging. That is planned food technology. Still, how was anything learned first? Archaeology misses every stomachache, but biology offers cautious clues. Smell can expose rot. Texture can reveal spoilage. Disgust makes you step backward. Nausea can teach brutal memory. Yet no clue works alone. Animals are useful, but imperfect guides. A bird may eat what harms you. A goat's stomach is not yours. So survival comes from stacked evidence: taste, smell, season, and tradition. Then the final test: group experience. If several generations eat it safely, the meal earns trust. If illness follows one preparation, the method changes or disappears. Each camp becomes a slow experiment. Each elder becomes a walking archive. Knowledge grows without written science because it is science in another form, observed, tested, corrected, remembered, passed beside fires through stories, shown by hands before children speak, and guarded because mistakes cost lives. The final answer is surprisingly human. Your ancestors survive through culture, not because nobody ever guessed wrong, but because groups remember the price. One lesson becomes everyone's rule. One safe recipe outlives its inventor. So look again at your food label. It is not the beginning of safety. It is the newest page. Behind it stand 780,000 years of watching, cooking, and teaching. You are not separate from them. Your lunch still carries their memory.